Are you somebody with mismatched brows, gaps in your brows, huge gaps in your brows? You want to reshape your brows? Then this video is for you. So let's get started. I watch a lot of brow videos, and the ones I see are always from makeup artists who already have perfect brows and they're making them more perfect. And I can never find a video with just an ordinary person whose brows are mismatched and you really want to shape them. So I decided to make this video. So I've tried all kinds of different products, different brands of products, and I'm gonna give you some secrets. So hopefully this video will help you out, give you some tips and tricks, and let's go. First of all, the shape of your brow. There is a perfect shape for your brow. No one can reach perfection, but there is a shape of your brow that will help give you the most flattering look for your eyes and your face. So first of all, okay, the end of your brow should line up with the eye, okay? If you have them too close, you're going to make your eyes appear smaller. So you want to line it up with the end of your eye. Now, the perfect arch would be from your eye at about a 45-degree angle. So kind of like right there, okay? That would be the perfect arch. Now, I think the most important thing is the end of your brow. So the end of your brow should be about the same angle to the end of your eye. So like right there. So I see a lot of people, especially older people, maybe they draw their brows on and they go all the way down. If you do go all the way down, it's going to drag down your look. And if you're older, you don't need anything else to drag down. So make sure that the end of your brow is at that angle to your eye. Okay? Now, first step, what I found. I've washed my face, I put my creams on my face, I put my eye creams on. If you apply your product to areas of your eye that are slick from the creams, it's not going to go on as smoothly. So just take some tissue and just gently wipe off some of it. You don't want to wipe all of it off because you do want some cream for your eyes, but wipe it off so it's a little bit smoother. Okay, so that's your first step. Second step is to brush your brows. So brush them in the way that you want them to go. Now my brows, I had really thick brows. I mean, they would have been amazing right now. But this was back in the 80s and 90s where thick brows were not a thing. And you really didn't go to somebody to do your brows. You kind of did your brows on your own. So I plucked and plucked and plucked, and you know, nice thin brows, right? Well, you pluck too much and they don't come back. So I've been growing mine in for a few years now. But you know, some hairs don't grow back and that becomes a problem. Like I said, I've tried all kinds of products, and if you've watched my videos, you know I'm an Avon rep and I love our Avon products. However, I don't think we have the greatest brow products. So I've tried all different ones. The ones I really love, the line that I think is very inexpensive but quality, is the NYX line. It's NYX, okay? And you know, if you know me, I can't really see, but this is the NYX Precision Brow Pencil, and I always get ash brown. My brows are actually black, but when I wear black, it's too harsh on my face. It's just like, there's your brows. So I use ash brown, and I love this one, and most of them have the spoolie on the end, which is very helpful, but I like this one because, can you see that? It kind of has a tip, like an angle, so I can draw better on my brows. So that's what I like. That's one thing Avon is missing. We don't have the angled tip, so I have to use my NYX. Aww. I can't see. I can't do it with my glasses on, so I have a mirror here. In case you're wondering, if you do have, you can't see near very well. I have a magnifying mirror, and there's different degrees of magnification. You got to find the one that works for you. I don't know which one this exactly is, but this is the perfect one for me. The back side has broken off, but the one side that magnifies is still there, so I'm still using it. So I'm going to draw the shape that I want on my brows. So I'm drawing the angle in front, which I told you should angle up with your eye. Then I draw the arch. Now I like thick brows. I do like thick brows. But I follow my hair and I make an angle. And don't worry if you mess up, because we can fix that. And then I go down to the end of my brow that I want it to end at. You see what I got going on so far? Now I'm going to go underneath and draw the shape I want underneath. Okay? So this is what I have going on. This is the ideal shape I want. Okay? So now I'm going to do it to the other side. Now, I heard it once said that your brows aren't twins, they're sisters. And I keep that in my head. They're not identical twins. They don't need to be identical. They just need to be similar. They're in the same family. Okay? All right. So, this is what I have going on. Okay. Now, you could go in and you could just fill in your brows, okay? But my thing I've been struggling with is try to get them more natural. So that's what we're going to work on right now. Is not just coloring them in. You could go for that look. But the thing I've found is just coloring in, first of all, is a little harsh. If you do color them in, then you go back with your spoolie and you can make it a little bit lighter. But the thing is, if you have gaps in your brows, they tend to come off in the gaps, and then you got to fill them back in, and then it's kind of a process. So I have found an amazing product. I was so excited when I saw this. Okay, so glasses on. All right, so this one is from Revlon, and it's a Color Stay Semi-Permanent Brow Ink. Now, it's semi-permanent, so I put it on. It comes off very easily with when I wash my face. It comes off very easily. But it will stay on once it dries. It's there. Because what I have found, if you have gaps in your things, and that's kind of the thing I struggle with, when I fill them in, I touch my brows during the day, and then it comes off, and then I have a hole in my brow, which is a problem. So this Color Stay Semi-Permanent from Revlon is amazing. So let me show you what I do. What am I going to do with this Color Stay is the areas that I really don't have hair. If you can see that, this is the shape I want. I'm missing hair here. I have a couple gaps in there. I am going to use the Color Stay. I'm not going to use the Color Stay on my entire brow because I think, again, that looks too harsh. So I am going to fill in. So I fill in the gap underneath where I'm missing hairs. Such a problem. I should have not touched my brows. Okay, then I'm going to fill in on top with the arch because I don't have much of an arch. Now I do fill in to the tail of the brow because when you are doing your brows, I filled in this part and the tail. This part can be darker. You want this part lighter because it's too harsh if it's all one thing. Okay, so I did that brow. Now I'm going to do this brow, and I'm going to go underneath. Okay, and then I'm going to do the arch and the tail. Okay, now I'm going to go back in and I'm going to fill in some of the holes in the middle because that tends to disappear during the day. It's like when I'm telling you I touch my brows and then I have a hole in my brow. So I'm going to fill that in because I know that's like a problem for me. Okay. Now, the thing with this is you do want this to dry 10-20 seconds. Okay. If you make a mistake, don't worry. We're going to clean it up at the end. So just do your best. Okay. But this has a great tip on it. It really does. You see that? It's a very angled small tip. So you can really get some precision with that. And what I also want to preface is that usually my brows take me like 5 minutes. They don't take me this long. I'm talking to you, I'm explaining things, so it's taking longer, but usually my brows only take 5 minutes.
A few moments later.
Now I'm going to go back in with the same NYX pencil that I was using before, and I'm going to fill in like the beginning and the end. Now, if you watch these professional brow videos, they do like the strokes, so you look like regular hair, and you know, it just doesn't work if you already have hair there. Again, this video is for regular people, okay? So I'm gonna fill in all the rest of my color. Again, not too dark at the beginning of your brows, okay? But I'm filling in the rest. All right, see what I got going on? Okay, now I'm going to do the other one. You know, color in the lines. That's why we practice in school. Color in the lines. Okay. So this is what I have going on. They're looking good. They're not identical, which again, I try to keep that in mind. They're not twins. They're sisters, okay? All right, so this is what I have going on right now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the end of my eye thing. They almost always have a spoolie on the end. You can buy a spoolie if you need to, but you almost always have it in. Then I'm going to go through and I am just going to lightly brush, and it softens it. So especially like on top, I don't want like a line. I'm going to soften it to look more natural. So I soften the beginning because I don't want like a harsh line at the beginning of my brow. So I soften it so it doesn't look quite as bad. And then I soften the top. All right. And it's looking pretty good. Okay, now because I use the Color Stay ink, when I go back through, I'm not getting the holes that I normally get when I just use a pencil. All right. Now I have tried all kinds of products, expensive products, different brands, and these are the ones that I have found that really work, and they're not expensive. Oh my gosh. And you can get them at CVS. You can get coupons, you know. So it's great, but they're like everywhere, so you know, you can go everywhere. Now, go back in, I see, do I have any spots that are open? I don't really see anything that I have to do a little bit on top here, but it looks pretty good. Now, the last step is your concealer and your concealer brush. Okay, you can use whatever concealer you want. It really doesn't matter. If you want to prime your lids, you're putting eyeshadow on, you can use concealer for that. So if you're going to use powder eyeshadow, after you use concealer, put some powder on so your eyeshadow won't crease. But I'm going to go back in with just a little bit of concealer, and I just draw a line under my brow so it's really crisp, and I go down. Okay, I'm going to do this to the other side. This is where you can kind of get them more even if you messed up. Sometimes I go crazy with the tail of my eyebrows, but I think I did pretty good today. Okay, so I drew a line. All right, and then I just kind of gently blend in the line. Again, if you want to use your eyeshadow as a primer, you can put more on and use it as a primer. You know, it's up to you what you want to do. Okay, then this step is optional. I do have an Avon product for this one. This one is good, and this really, you can use any product for this. It's not, but we have an FMG Love Highbrow Tinted Brow Gel. You can use a tint, you can use clear. It doesn't really matter, but this is going to get your brows to stay in place. So when you take it out, make sure you don't have a bunch on, because believe me, you don't want a bunch on. And then you're just going to brush your brows lightly, however you want them to be. You don't need to put a ton on. Just kind of keeps them in place throughout the day. And that's it. So what do you think? Hopefully you got some tips from this. It's really not that hard. Doesn't take me too long. And this is, I think, the only brow video I've ever done. But please check out my other makeup videos. I have a lot of tips and tricks.